sorry. So, you guys, I have other news. I deleted my other post. I'm thinking, for you guys that like to watch me live, I'm going to start a Yu-Gi-Oh channel. And I don't know if you guys are okay with that, or if you guys don't want me to do that. Because I know Yu-Gi-Oh is pretty much dead, in a way. So, I got my tin here, and I wanted to show you guys what kind of deck I got now. So, this will be my last post for 4 or 5 days, I think. I'm going to do one more post. This will be it. Actually, no. I'm going to I have a go-kart, a 1978 Honda Odyssey FL 250. I'm going to try to ride that this week. If I can. Fingers crossed, because that thing is 78 years old, I think. Really boring. So, I've got my deck here. Wait, you guys are just... I got so confused with how my deck is prepared. Okay. So you guys kind of already know what my deck basically is. It's a dragon deck. So I'll start from different cards and why I'm going to get rid of them. Now, I am going to buy new cards. I'm going to create a deck. But I'm going to buy a structure deck, basically. And so what I'm going to do is basically take my deck now and swap it and try to perform what's called a deck surgery. So the deck surgery will basically consist of like new cards and old cards that I have already set here. And so I'm going to do that. And so I'll tell you guys basically what my deck is going to be. My deck basically is going to consist of this one card. And I'll show you the one that I got this week, or when I was in California. I got my Blue Eyes White Dragon. Blue Eyes White Dragon! Shiny. I think this one, I can't tell if this is a common. It says first edition on the bottom. But actually, I think it's from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Dimension movie, I think, if I'm correct. This is real, this isn't fake. So, what I'm going to do is my whole intent of buying this structure deck is Legendary Blue Eyes is a powerful engine of destruction. True. He's got 3,000 attack points, 2,500 defense, right? So if you get 3 of these in your deck, and then you have other cards that you can select that can pop up your Blue Eyes from your deck to your hand to your grave, then you basically have a chance, at least maybe, of winning. One thing is wrong with that, though. I only have 1 Blue Eyes. So my deck right now consists of 1 Blue Eyes and 1 Red Eyes. And I mean, it's not bad. Here's my Red Eyes. So right now, these are my 2 big, these are my cards that I consistently try to, put my deck around. But this one's the big one right here that I really want to support the most. So what I'm trying to do, you guys, is I'm going to start making a structure deck. Or taking the structure deck, excuse me. I'm going to take the structure deck apart. And I'm going to swap cards around, like I just said. And when I do this, my intent is, okay, I got Red Eyes, right? So Red Eyes, I might not need him. So I'll probably put him aside for another deck. But when I get Blue Eyes, I'm going to try to build my deck around Blue Eyes. Now, to do this, I already have my deck kind of figured. I have my playing field here, as you can see. And I use my playing field as a you know, I kind of practiced a little bit, and I take notes of what I want to do. Oops, I just scatterbrained my cards here. Bad me. So I basically know what cards I'm gonna keep. Like for instance, Armored Dragon level 3 allows me on my standby phase, I can armor summon uh where is he? If I have him. I know I have him. Not this guy. So basically my deck, hold on, it consists of like Blue Eyes. I want Blue Eyes capped. I want him capped because he can summon this guy that I'm looking for here. Okay, this guy. So this is what I want. I want to be able to keep Blue Eyes. Keep him because I can throw him in the grave and summon him. But here's the funny thing, is that my Armored Dragon level 5, I can put him in the grave to summon him, right? Then on top of that, I can summon my Blue Eyes. There's a combo, right? So these are things that I'm thinking of. Like, I'm thinking of how to... I know Yu-Gi-Oh! Is probably really outdated, so how do I do that? So I want to keep my combos, right? So I do definitely want to, you know, throw, hey, you know, on standby phase, I'm going to throw him in the grave, and then I'm going to play him. And then, wait, I am not going to just play him, I'm going to play him. Which, by the way, this guy is 2,800 attack points. So basically, that's a combo in itself, right there. Combo where I can play like the Dragon Flute and summon certain dragons out from my deck, like Blue Eyes, right? So things like that is what I'm trying to stay consistent with. It's like combos. For instance, I know this guy is 300, but I don't need him. Obviously, because he's not a dragon. But, you know, I want that. I'll show you guys here. Hold on. Well, you guys are really not. So, Dark Blade and him combine, right? Even though this is a dragon, I still can get help with him. I can get away with using him. So these two are my combos. So there's a combo, right? I'm probably going to have him in this guy, sort of revealing light in there too. I'm going to try to, you know, I'm going to try to keep some cards working here. So basically, here's how to kind of make a little okay structure deck. Use your structure deck to make a good deck. So if you're going to get a Blue Eyes deck, you're going to consistently get this, right? You're going to get cards that basically revolve around this guy. This guy is going to be your big boy, right? So this guy right here, yeah, it's kind of shrimpy, right? But what happens is this guy, like I just said, can summon this guy. This guy can pick up this guy, right? So this guy can be attached with this guy. So you're probably wondering, why am I repeating myself? Well, because here's the thing. These combos right here are what can make your deck better. And so as I'm looking through my deck, I'm realizing, okay, to buy a structured deck for a dragon deck, I'm going to need to do something better. Because again, I can't just have Blue Eyes, you know, be the main goal. I gotta have combos, so I gotta have like these three guys in my deck as well as him, right? Because why? Now you would probably ask me why? Because that's ultimately gonna screw you, isn't it? No. Because when you think about it, ultimately, when you're playing, you're gonna basically want to go around and use a combo. So, for instance, Red Eyes. Red Eyes is 2400, just like Dark Magician. Okay, so these three cards right here, out of all of them, Red Eyes probably would not be needed as much. Because Red Eyes he does have a combo. Red Eyes Baby Chick Dragon, which I don't have, and I'm trying to look for, by the way. But I can do combos based around him. But I'm doing combos based around this guy. So I get a structured deck based around Blue Eyes. And I get a deck structured on Red Eyes. I put them together. That might work. But there's only one thing wrong with that, is that you guys know that Red Eyes and Blue Eyes probably don't work well together. So you're kind of throwing everything off. Well, that's true. So what I want to do is, I want to really make a deck that's structured around both. But at the end of the day, I realize I can't do it. Because Red Eyes really isn't going to be my main card anymore. I think, I have to retire him. And I really don't want to retire my buddy. Because, I've had a lot of things with him. I've gone through thousands of duels with this guy. Many duels. Many years of being with him. And this guy never failed. We lost and we won, but this guy right here saved my bacon. So this guy, like I said, he saved my bacon quite a few times. So I think I'm gonna retire my Red Eyes this year, and I'm gonna basically focus on structuring this guy. Now, when this guy kind of gets a little bit, when I get to a point where I'm gonna decide, I've built my deck to the way I want it, and I'm not gonna duel as much, I'll probably put him away as well. But for now, I want to, since I still can duel a lot with these guys, I know I could probably do a lot more with him, but I don't have much combos to work with him as I will with this guy. So that's going to be my only downfall. But when you're making a structured, a deck from a structured deck, you're going to have to remember that these are things you want to take in consideration. First of all, a structured deck is basically a version of a starter deck. You basically have starters to base around. So, like, for instance, your Blue Eyes or your Red Eyes. So let's say your structured deck is starting with this guy, Red Eyes. So basically, all your other cards are going to support him, right? This is what a structure deck does. Your structure deck supports the highest card that you have, which would be this guy, right? So Red Eyes Baby Dragon, Red Eyes Baby Chick, Red Eyes Darkness Dragon, Red Eyes Metal Dragon, so on and so forth. The list goes on. So your structure deck is not going to be very good. It's going to be okay. So what you're going to want to do is, you're not going to probably win very many duels with it. You might have a 50% chance of doing it, actually. Oh, here's the reason why you'll only have basically 50% chance of doing this, is because the 50% chance of you winning is because your structure deck is based around him, right? Around this card. But most few structure decks are built to take attacks, and then some to give. Not much to block. you're not going to have much blockage. So you're going to want to create a deck, you know, that has something like this. And I'll show you a few cards that you can have, that you should have in any deck. So when you guys get a structure deck, you're gonna get some cards, right? And again, your cards are gonna base around either two high point cards, like these two, for instance, right? Or Dark Magician. So let's say you're gonna want to get, if your structure deck doesn't have this, you're gonna want to get Mystical Typhoon. You're gonna want to get now Mystical Typhoon. The reason why, actually, before we continue, is because target one spell / trap on the field and destroy that target. So your opponent's going to be able to set a trap or spell, which might neglect the next ability to perform an effect of, you can pick up your high card from the grave or your hand or whatever, or special tribute maybe. So this card blocks that attack. You're going to want to get maybe a couple of these. I only have one. I'm going to actually try to get two more when I get my structure deck. This is the reason why you would, again, want to get this is, this will save your butt when you're in a position where, again, you know, you have a card set directly, specifically for a tribute or an effect that you can play, or that your monster hold on, that your monster is allowed to have. There are a lot of cards out there that actually stop effects, and it sucks. So this is the few cards that I want you guys to, you know, think about getting if you get a structure deck. Is make sure that you get one of these if it doesn't already come with it. Read carefully. Another one is Mirror Forces. Mirror Forces is a good one because when an opponent monster declares an attack, destroy all your opponent's monsters. I'm going to try to get more of these. Now, the reason why, again, I just read is basically it stops every attack or the attack of your monsters, or your opponent's monsters onto you. So when you die, or not die, but when your opponent plays an attack, you summon this. That monster, your opponent's, all your opponent's monsters on the field that are face up are gonna go. They're gonna be destroyed. The reason why when you buy a structured deck and you want to get this is because, again, your structured deck is not going to be based around safety net. You're going to be roamed around, you know, trying to defend yourself. You're going to be, you know, pushed around to sometimes, you know, your structured deck is based around trying to summon. So how can you summon when your opponent's monster attacks you? This blocks. So basically, when you want to have a attack and defense ability, you don't want to just be defensive. You also want to be aggressive. So when you're aggressive, this actually allows you to be aggressive by stopping your monster from getting attacked. Oh, there was another one that I'm supposed to have. I forgot. I just had a couple. So, let me swip. I don't want to go in a certain order. Okay. So the next one is going to be Mountain. Now, for this one, if you're using any dragon, winged beast, and thunder type monsters, it's going to. You're going to have to be very careful with it when you use this, because if your opponent has any of these dragon, winged beast, and thunder type monsters, it also helps him. So be aware of that. But it also gives you the ability to go 200 if you have that. So if you're using a dragon deck, that would be helpful. If you're using a winged dragon, for instance, maybe like winged dragon raw. Well, actually, winged dragon raw probably wouldn't work on it. But if you're using winged winged monsters, so these are the kind of beginners things that you're gonna want to look for. Not these probably are going to be in it. So these are things that you're going to want to get for your structure deck to make it a little bit higher, better. The reason why I use this one a lot is because I can activate or target one monster in my graveyard, special summon, and attack position when this card leaves my hand. Not my hand, but when it leaves the field, destroy the target. That target, when the target's destroyed, destroy this card. So basically, call it a haunted. What is it? You're basically allowing yourself to take a monster back from the grave, like Monster Reborn. So you're basically using like Monster Reborn-ish. So it's almost like Monster Reborn, but even different. So the reason why I recommend this is because when you're playing with a structure deck and you have your deck that's basically help bring your cards back to the field, to the grave, or to whatever, you can actually use this to bring it back from the grave to your field. If you don't have any more cards that allow you to do it, then you can do it. So any kind of cards, basically. Any monsters. So if you don't have any more cards or monsters or effect cards that allow you to do that, you can have this one, and this one will actually allow you to do it from your grave. The reason that it is a good thing to have, at least, is because a lot of cards that are going to have an effect to do it anyway, but let's just say your effect is blocked because your opponent blocked you or has a card that doesn't allow you to do it, then you need to do it. You can do it with that. Now, as I said always before, this card, I believe, is now banned. I don't know why, this is stupid, but don't ask me. Monster Reborn allows you to bring back your monsters from the grave. Or your, either your monster or your opponent's monster. So the good thing about this, and the reason why this is a most wanted card, is because when you play this card, you can use this card. So like your special tributing 2 cards, and you put one of your high cards in the grave to special summon a other higher card, then you can bring that other card back, or you can take your opponent's monster. So I think this is the reason why it's banned, is because it allows you to take control of either your monsters again or your opponent's monsters. I don't know why they really banned it, but I think that's the reason why they kind of partly banned it, was because they didn't people didn't like having their monsters like Winged Dragon Raw come back and bite them in the butt. But it's a good card. I recommend it if you're going to use a just even if you're gonna play on fun, use that card because a structure deck to 50 or 40. So you're gonna want to use this um, as a backup to bring back to bring back up an enforcement on your side. Um, Now, a lot of these probably aren't like defensive; they're more kind of aggressive sides. So we're going aggressive, defensive, aggressive, defensive. Now, back on defensive, Enchanted Javelin. When a monster opponent attacks, increase your life points by the attack monsters. Attacking monsters, ATK points. So basically, this is a good defensive card because if you have this in your structure deck, you can also save your bacon with this by taking life points. Because if you're running low on life points, this will save your bacon and give you life points back. Which means, for instance, maybe Winged Dragon Raw hits you. You got this played. Or if you have both of these right here, these can save you. This one basically, like I said, already you just delete your opponent's monster. This one you take life points from it. So you're basically saving yourself. So for a structured deck, you might end up getting those cards. Maybe, I don't know. A lot of times you don't know what you're getting. So